In the past year alone, $3.5 trillion in savings has been quietly erased by inflation, affecting over 140 million households worldwide, as the real purchasing power of money dwindles without warning. This silent thief strikes when you least expect it, devaluing the cash you've worked hard to save, leaving you with a financial security that's more illusion than reality. For instance, if you had $10,000 in a standard savings account at the beginning of 2022, by the end of the year, due to inflation, you'd have lost the equivalent of over $600 in purchasing power. The consequences are far-reaching and deeply personal. In the United Kingdom, for example, retirees have seen their pensions devalued by as much as 8% due to inflation, forcing many to reconsider their retirement plans or reduce their living standards. Similarly, in the United States, the average household has seen its real income decrease by over 3% due to rising prices, affecting everything from the cost of groceries to housing. This isn't just about numbers. It's about the real-world impact on people's lives, such as a family having to choose between paying rent or health care because their savings are being silently depleted. Inflation is not just an economic concept. It's a reality that affects us all directly. It's the result of a complex interplay between economic policies, global events, and consumer behavior. At its core, inflation is a sign of an economy where demand outpaces supply, leading to higher prices. However, when central banks print more money, it can also lead to inflation, as the increased money supply chases a constant amount of goods and services, driving prices up. This phenomenon is not new, but what's noteworthy is how it's affecting savings and investments in the current economic climate. Historically, savings accounts and bonds were considered safe havens for your money, but with inflation rates outpacing interest rates, these once stable investments are now failing to keep pace with inflation, effectively losing value over time. For instance, if your savings account earns a 1% interest rate, but inflation is at 3%, you're losing 2% in purchasing power each year. This scenario is playing out globally, with countries experiencing high inflation rates seeing the purchasing power of their citizens significantly reduced. The real challenge is understanding that this isn't just about the money itself, but about the security, freedom, and opportunities that money represents. The impact of inflation on savings is a ticking time bomb for financial security. As prices rise, the value of the money you've saved decreases, meaning you can buy fewer goods and services with the same amount of money. This effect is compounded over time, with even moderate inflation rates significantly eroding the value of savings over the long term. For example, at an inflation rate of just 2%, $10,000 saved today would be worth approximately $8,200 in 10 years, a loss of nearly $1,800 in purchasing power. To combat this, individuals are looking for alternative investments that can keep pace with or outperform inflation. Assets like real estate, stocks, and commodities have historically been more resilient against inflation, as they can increase in value alongside rising prices. However, these investments come with their own set of risks and require a level of knowledge and diversification to manage effectively. Diversification is key when it comes to protecting your savings from inflation. Spreading your investments across different asset classes can help mitigate risk and ensure that at least some of your savings are growing at a rate that keeps pace with or exceeds inflation. This might include investing in a mix of index funds, real estate investment trusts, rates, and even precious metals, which have traditionally served as a hedge against inflation. Moreover, being proactive about understanding and addressing inflation's impact on your savings is crucial. This involves regularly reviewing your financial portfolio, adjusting your investment strategy as needed, and considering consulting with a financial advisor. In an inflationary environment, stagnation can be detrimental, and taking a passive approach to savings and investments can lead to a significant loss in purchasing power over time. In conclusion, the silent erosion of savings by inflation is a pressing concern that affects us all, from the individual looking to secure their financial future to the broader economic implications for countries and societies. By understanding the mechanisms of inflation and taking proactive steps to protect your savings, you can ensure that your hard-earned money retains its value and continues to provide the financial security and freedom you've worked for. Ultimately, recognizing the threat of inflation and adapting your financial strategy to counter its effects is not just about managing money. It's about preserving the future you envision for yourself and your loved ones, one that's not diminished by the silent thief of inflation.